Hello, and welcome to MCI Sizzles. I'm your host, Chef John Richards. I'm also the director of the Miami Culinary Institute at Miami-Dade College. Today we're coming to you from the Food and Wine Theater, which is on the third floor of the beautiful Miami Culinary Institute in downtown Miami at the Wilson campus. The school's been open for not even 2 years yet, and we're getting ready to graduate some of our first students. And we thought we'd take a few minutes to introduce you to a few of our students and maybe some of their stories on how they found their way into this particular career path and this particular school. I have Errol Johnson, Michael Galazza. Welcome today.
Thank you, Chef.
Sure. Michael, give us a little bit about your experience on finding your way here to us.
Well, Chef, after many years in the business, I decided I wanted the piece of paper, that degree, that diploma. And after looking at many different schools, I decided on Miami Culinary Institute. There's a couple of reasons why. First reason was the fact that it's a green school. It's LEED certified, and there's a garden right down the street, a garden that I personally get to go and pick and harvest crops from every single day and use those both in my classroom experience and in Tuyo upstairs.
Beautiful, and that's exactly the mission that we really think is important, is that we understand that there's sustainability, and we have to have a conscience about our environment, our community.
Absolutely.
It's a very important thing. Errol, welcome today.
Thank you.
How did you find your way to us here at MCI?
My journey started 1.5 years ago when my wife and I spoke about my passion for cooking. I'm a firefighter for Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, and I wanted to be able to also cook well for my department. As you know, as firefighters, we have to provide our own meals because we work 24-hour shifts. So my wife agreed that we should start looking for a school. So I started looking at all the names, and I came upon Miami-Dade. I was surprised that they had a culinary program, but what I was really surprised at is the detail that the school had, the sustainability, the platinum rating of their LEED, their capabilities of a future that would be predominantly in the heart of all the restaurants and the cooking mainstream. And so I chose Miami-Dade, and I have not regretted it at all.
So out of all of your choices, you researched and made this decision to come here to MCI.
Yes, there's specifically, well, you can look at the one of the main things that everybody, because of the economic crunch that we're in, of course, is the bottom line and how to pay for your schooling and the price of it. And this school is extremely less expensive as other, but in the same time, not sacrificing any of the knowledge or the education part of it, where you can excel. And that's what really drew me to it, is, like Mike had said, the garden. You know, I don't know a school around here, Johnson Wales or any other school, that has that capability. And then the flexibility of Miami-Dade. If I'm in the military also, so sometimes, like last semester, I wasn't able to go because I was called up on a mission, but I was able to, when I came back, to start again. And that flexibility isn't available at the other schools.
You know, we have perhaps an incredible advantage in that as we build this program, we get to include you in the evolution of what MCI is going to become. It's not a roadmap, it's not a recipe that already exists. We are building it, and we're allowing our students to be a part of building that. And sure enough, whenever I run out of things to do, the students come and push me even more to say, what about this? What about this idea? And you're right, and we get so much inspiration and innovation from you. That's probably one of the most gratifying parts of my job. So when you started, you were in the very first class, and we actually started school before the building was complete.
Yes, Chef.
We thought we were going to be open, and at the end of the day, the city officials said, well, you can have 1 floor of your 8 floors of the building. And so we were able to start 1 class, and you were part of that first class. And very shortly after that, you made a decision perhaps to even come work with us. And I thought, hopefully you would share a little bit about your work experience here.
Well, to be in class and to learn under the direction of the most amazing instructors that money can buy, it's wonderful. It's a very warming experience. But to actually go upstairs into a state-of-the-art restaurant and then be able to take what you learned in the classroom and put it on your canvas, which is your plate, and do that for some of the most wonderful people in Miami, and it really is a heartwarming experience. Every day it's a challenge, and that challenge pushes us to raise the bar, and we have raised the bar and become a very successful restaurant.
Well, let's say it out loud. What's the name of that restaurant?
It's Tuyo.
And who's the chef?
Chef Norman Van Aken.
Yes, it's not just another restaurant. We have brought in one of the culinary icons of South Florida to work with us, not just to be part of a restaurant, but truly immerse Miami Culinary Institute into South Florida cuisine and all of the things that makes it so special and unique to any place in the world. Now, Errol, we have a number of events that students participate in, and I've noticed over the last year that you've become a real leader and a real cheerleader in participating and being in these events and what we call a stage program, where you are able to get additional experience in the field that you're training in. Maybe you could share a little bit about that experience.
That is the key importance, is being able to be out into the field and actually working in it. Mike mentioned the restaurant. I think what is really neat about this program is that being a freshman, a lower student, just beginning, I got to do a special event with Tuyo, and my mentor, the person who was helping me with the line, was Mike. And so everything that he learned and he was taught, he was able to show me. And he had such a teacher attitude, and specifically why a sauce would be heated away, why we use this, while we're functioning for a large event. And so not only did I get the experience about doing an event that I had never done, I've never worked in a restaurant before, but I've got the same teaching that he got, and he just made me feel so comfortable and made me know that I was going in the right direction and doing it, like I belonged on the team. And that's with all the events that we get to do. We always have that supervision that if there's a moment that we don't know what we're doing, there's someone there to guide us. And the variety of events are everything from opening the film festival to doing a celebration for Julia Child's 100th birthday. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and those are great events, and they're all a part of the scrapbook that I know I'll carry forever. If I could ask you, when you came here, I always like to ask my students this. When you came here, I believe you must have had a dream. What is it that's out there 5 years from now that, Earl, you plan to use this training and education for?
Well, when I came, I was looking for a dream. And now my dream is getting a little more narrow. But what happens is, because we're exposed to so many different scenarios of the culinary world, that my dream is actually changing on a daily basis. So, and I have the confidence that I have the opportunity that I can do everything from opening a bistro to do private chefing on a yacht. And that's what MCI has given to me. So my dream is endless because of MCI.
How about you, Michael?
I feel I'm living the dream. My dream used to be just to get through school and get that piece of paper. But now coming to school and coming to work every day, I truly feel that is my dream. And being under the guidance of the instructors and chefs that I am at this Culinary Institute, I think my dream has come true. Oh. And I really enjoy it very, very much. And I'd like to thank you, Chef.
It makes me smile. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I
thank
appreciate
you, Chef.
it today.
Thank you, Chef.
If you'd like more information about the Miami Culinary Institute, www.miamidadeculinary.com, or call us at 305-237-3276.
Fresh thinking is being served at Miami-Dade College. Create your own recipe for success in the evolution of food culture at the Miami Culinary Institute. Learn the skills you need to jumpstart your career in the culinary arts. Turn green into gourmet and celery into salary. Miami Culinary Institute. Food, culture, innovation. Visit us at miamidadeculinary.com. Register now. Miami Culinary Institute.
The School for Continuing Education and Professional Development has an outreach center in Aventura. At this center, we offer after-school programs for children to improve their artistic abilities while improving their grades. We also offer programs for seniors that include floral arrangements, jewelry making, arts and crafts, acting, and so much more. For more information or to register, you can visit us online or call 305-936-2585.
Welcome back. Miami-Dade College's International Hospitality Center has had the privilege to work with the Miami Overtown CRA, Hilton Hotels, Carnival Cruise Line, and Norman Brayman most recently to create this culinary and hospitality training program that is housed under our Hospitality Institute. This has been going on for 4 years now, but most recently we've engaged Chef Timothy Tucker, who came here from Louisville, Kentucky to work with us in this initiative. So we'd like to welcome you, Timothy, and you can introduce Christopher to us and tell us a little bit about the program.
This is Christopher Poro. He's one of our students. This culinary training program, this is our first one, and really it's developed to, it's life enrichment, but it's really about getting jobs. It's about taking students maybe from below the poverty line or wherever they might come from and helping them through life enrichment, both through culinary skills and also helping them get to where they needed to go. Chris is one of our outstanding students, and that's why he's here today too.
Well, Chef Timothy and I worked together in Louisville, Kentucky with the Salvation Army on a very successful program there, and it's been a dream of mine for several years now to bring that model and the magic that Chef Timothy brings to a community here to Miami, and we're here for sure. And Christopher, we met probably 3 or 4 months ago now, and maybe you could give us a little bit about your story and how you've found your way here today with us.
Well, I have a really long script, but I'll try to keep it. No, I'm just kidding. You know, my story has been long, but it's been fortunate. Right after I got married, which was in July, I got fired within a week. And I was looking for a job for a very long time. And I stumbled upon the Hospitality Institute. While there, they offered an opportunity to partake in the culinary program. And on faith, I took it because at first, Chef was talking about learning about basic knife skills and how to boil water. So I was actually a little bit concerned because I didn't know what it might lead to. But after the 12 weeks, it's been a huge blessing. It's been powerful. Chef has really fostered a passion, and not just myself, but in our entire class, about what cooking really is and how to not take shortcuts and to really put that special ingredient to love, you know, or whatever Chef might want to put in there. But that's what I consider that special ingredient. And Chef has been quite an inspiration, and he has now pushed our entire class into following this new career path in culinary endeavors. So I look forward to it.
It's been very impressive. Chef Timothy, you say boil water and you say to use some knives, but do we do more than that in 12 weeks? What can you do for people?
Well, you know, it's my job to give them my passion, my heart, and my soul, and everything, as much stuff as I can give them in the culinary world. 12 weeks, you can't learn 20 years of experience, but you can give them everything you can. And John, you know, for our students, a lot of them, this is life or death stuff. You know, we're talking people, some of our students were homeless on the streets. And so this is really the tools to get back into the workforce. You know, for us, getting jobs for these students is vital. And we need jobs right now. We'll always need jobs. And for some of these guys, they'll go back to Miami Culinary Institute and they'll continue into our program and work with you and some of our fantastic instructors. But for other guys, we just need the local support of the community.
Well, that we have. We are reaching out to a number of employers who have admired the program, and now we're getting beyond the admiration stage where it's like it's time to hire. And we're moving into our season here in Miami, So we're looking forward to having 100% participation in becoming part of the workforce. You know, since the Hospitality Institute began, we've had over 1,600 people through the program. We have, I believe, over 600 that have been employed, and I think the numbers are close to 500 that are still currently employed in the same job that they received after the training. Again, I'm so proud to bring the final culinary component to it. We've been training hospitality for 3 years, and that gets jobs in hotels, front desk, concierge, bell captain, housekeeping, maintenance. But now to really add this culinary piece is so personal to me, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. So, Chef Timothy, what is the most challenging part of your work here in changing lives?
Yeah, well, I'm so blessed that I have the community that I have here within the Miami Culinary Institute, Miami-Dade College, and all of these amazing resources that we have here. Makes it a lot easier than maybe some of my work in the past, because we have so many resources. That being said, there's so much more stuff that we still need, you know, like jobs is definitely a challenge. We always want to make sure that we get work and those kind of things. And then within the students, you know, one of the components we have a life skills coach. And with that life skills coach, which is fantastic for us because, let's be honest, we all have, you know, things from our past that we have to deal with. And from our students especially, we want to address those issues, whether it's just knowing how to dress for a uniform, you know, for an interview and knowing what to wear or what to say, what not to say. And I know you remember all those things that we went through in class, just basic things that we take for granted. So it's really, my challenge is being able to identify with the student and treating every student as an individual and seeing what they need and how we can continue to get them what they need so they can excel in the future.
Which, if I may interject, Chef has done a great job. I mean, that's been his passion, of course, and he's nailed it right on the head. So
Thanks.
all 18 of us feel like his adopted children.
Well, and we don't, and it's also important to understand that we don't, after the class is over, we don't wash our hands with our students.
Yeah.
We want to be with them and continue to watch them grow and succeed after the class is over.
Well, our Miami-Dade College Culinary Institute students have been working side by side with our Hospitality Institute students, and we've done a number of events this year that have been really, really challenging events. We did an Iron Fork event, we did the Miami International Book Fair, which was a huge event where it was all about the cooking. It was all about culinary. And it was a great experience, and Christopher and a lot of our other students in that program really stepped up and delivered what it takes. And this is hard work. There's nothing easy about it. It starts early, it ends late. We don't stop, we work straight through it. But at the end of the day, it's such a proud feeling. What was maybe some of your best experiences cooking?
Well, the book fair was definitely an experience. It was over 800 people between the 2 days, and then we prepped almost that entire week. It was very intense, and then when it was coming out, it was going out. But then also had a lot of fun at for the Thanksgiving feeding. That was great at the Great Old Bethel Church right down the street. That was 400 people. We got to feed, you know, homeless persons and people in need, and that was. I mean, we've been given so much, and it was great to just give back. You spoke about being rewarding at the end. That was very rewarding, and that was also intense. Yeah, we also prepped for like 3 days for that meal too. A lot of turkey.
So you're employed?
I am. I couldn't make it to the Iron Fork event actually because I had to go to work, which was a job that I got through the Hospitality Institute. So
Where are you working?
I'm working at the Best Western Hotel Atlantic Beach Resort on 41st and Collins as
That's
a
great.
front desk agent.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you both so much today. I really appreciate the conversation, and I look forward to many more. And if you'll hang on tight with us, we're going to come back and we're going to bring Chef Norman Van Aken to the stage, and we're going to talk about his mission here with the Miami Culinary Institute and things that we have in store for the 2013 year.
En Miami-Dade College, el fogón está encendido, la mesa está servida y tu receta al éxito espera en el Miami Culinary Institute. Aprende las habilidades de una carrera fascinante en las artes culinarias. Recuerda que el amor entra por la cocina y un buen sueldo también. Miami Culinary Institute, innovación, cocina y cultura. Visita miamidadeculinary.com. Matricúlate ya. Miami Culinary Institute.
El programa de Educación Continua y Desarrollo Profesional tiene un centro en Aventura. Con muchas clases disponibles, este centro tiene el curso indicado para usted. Ofrecemos cursos como Introducción a la Computadora, Microsoft Office, Diseño Gráfico y certificaciones en Tecnología de Computadoras. Para más información y para matricularse, llámenos al 305-936-2585. Su futuro está en sus manos. Matricúlese ya.
Welcome back. As we mentioned before, we're coming to you today from the incredible Food and Wine Theater here at the Miami Culinary Institute. And sitting with me right now is an extremely popular chef, a very timely chef with a brand new book today, Chef Norman Van Aken. Welcome.
Thank you, John.
If I may share a very quick story, when I was in culinary school a few years back, one of the people that I really went to school on was Chef Norman. I did not know him. I was studying from Kentucky, learning about culinary arts and learning what path I might take through culinary. And this was one of the chefs that I really went to school on and learned and thought the question, what in the world is going on down there in Florida? And years later, we're here together and we're changing the world as far as culinary education. Again, thank you for being here.
It's great to be here, John. Thank you.
Well, Chef, we had a conversation at Louis' backyard over a year ago, maybe almost a year and a half
Right.
now, scheming how we can work together to truly make a difference in the way culinary arts is trained here in the United States and in South Florida. Maybe you could share a little bit about this experience that we've taken.
Well, after you introduced me to MCI, in a hard hat construction tour and trip of this place, my mind started to wander, and going up to Tuyo and looking out that window at Freedom Tower and Biscayne Bay and all of downtown, I thought, well, should I remain in Key West, where I was living at the time, and sort of be semi-retired, maybe do some writing, consulting, or should I come back to the big city? And with the school and being involved with doing something with students and the community at large, the answer was quick and simple. But then you came to meet me in Key West, and we went to a very important place in my life, Louis' backyard. And we had a conversation, we had a meeting. And I took you specifically to Louis. You knew about Louis, you'd been there, but I took you there because it's kind of a good luck place for me. It's where I sat one morning and imagined the entirety of New World cuisine and what it might be after gazing at a sailboat going over the horizon toward Cuba. And it was really at that point that I thought all the books that were teaching me how to be Mediterranean or French or Italian or Japanese and all the things that were foundational, I knew at that moment that I needed to do something for Florida. And that happened in the initial part through my first cookbook, and continues to happen through the processes here at Miami Culinary Institute.
Well, it's been already an amazing ride, and we're really just getting warmed up, and I would love to share with everybody that my journey, I've come across an amazing array of people, but never have I truly met a better scholar at the business that we're in. The business is more than just business and numbers. It's about philosophy. It's about the soul of a chef. And again, I've never met a better scholar. And this is what we hope to share with our students, to infect them with that hunger and that appetite. What's your experience been so far with our students and that vision?
Well, I think they're absolutely hungry for understanding, for the scholarly side of things. I have to give props to my grandmother, Janie Quinn Manderson, because she was the one that instituted the love of scholarly pursuits in me, a Midwestern lad with not so much of a background whatsoever in anything remotely like cuisine, but Nana is what we called her, and she fostered a love of books in me. And one of the things that I've done here at MCI in Tuyo is I have an extensive cookbook library, as do you, And it was kind of killing me because my library was sitting there unread. And I knew that the young people that are working with us couldn't afford to go out and buy all these books, and I wanted them to be able to be utilized. So I sort of set up a bookmobile program with them and said, you can borrow any of the books that I bring in, and even if you lose them, you're going to have to pay me, but you're only going to have to pay me $5 a book. $5 isn't much, but I think it would make them take care of the book. And now my books are in use, and I see their minds going to work in the way that my mind was going to work in the early 1970s through the 80s and continuing today.
Well, you mentioned Tuyo, and I have to bring that up, of course. We're celebrating about our 1-year anniversary here at Tuyo Restaurant. And this has been one of the most important moments for the college in particular, because to open up a restaurant at the Wolfson campus with the leadership, and this is sort of ground zero for Miami-Dade College, it was really important to make a real statement, and that's why it was so important to have a chef like you at the helm of this trip that we're taking together. So maybe you could explain a little bit about the Tuyo philosophy and how you approach cuisine and the Tuyo menus.
Well, first off, the vision of Dr. Padron was the key that started this entire ship, boat, cabin cruiser, whatever what this thing is. But without Dr. Padron, we wouldn't be here talking today. And so I feel lucky that he wanted to do a restaurant as talked about, the crown jewel of MCI, because I think we have the living, breathing laboratory of a place that shows the students not a makeshift or a facsimile, but the actual working organism that a restaurant is. We're fortunate that some of the students are so good they've actually earned places and make a living working at Tuyo. And then we also have the emerging and growing program of the stagiaire program, where many of the students are beginning to filter through non-paid, but able to learn in a real restaurant atmosphere. And so what we're doing with Tuyo is we're celebrating Florida, we're celebrating our diverse immigrant populations, the history of the last 100 years as it kind of distills through me and my vision and version of cuisine. And I had this restaurant called Norman's for many years that many people in the community know about. And back around our 5th year, there was one of those vaults that you buried various artifacts of the city in. And that was going to be opened up 150 years from now. And one of the things they put down in that was a menu of Norman's. And so that really hit me and made me realize that things that we could do with cuisine may matter for a long period of time. My hope, John, is that with Tuyo, we have something similar.
Oh, exactly. Well, we have just a few seconds left here, but I want to make sure, if I may hold this, that we have a few minutes to talk about this incredible book.
Well, this is my 5th cookbook, and it's my first book written with my son, Justin, who is, he grew up in the restaurant business as I did with my mom. And this is our love letter to Key West. We've been fortunate to be going around the United States with it. Justin lives in Key West, was born in Key West, and I continue to have my love affair with that little rock.
Incredible. Thank you so much for visiting with us today. I appreciate it so much. And Tuyo, Miami.com is the website for the restaurant, and 305-237-3200 is the telephone number to make reservations the next special occasion or just next time you're downtown. If you haven't been to Tuyo, it is a real treat. I have the pleasure of speaking with many of your guests who come in and out of our building and off of our elevator, and they talk about the experience, and it's not just the experience of one evening, it's really the experience of a lifetime relationship with you. And watching how that evolves has been a very special part of my experience here in Miami. Thank you, Chef.
Thanks, John. Thank you, Chef.